we're a few minutes late. We're getting the latest information for all of you. So today I have several updates to share. I will go ahead and start with utilities. The boil water notice has been lifted for from Johns Pass to Tierra Verde. Water quality tests have confirmed that water in the area now meets all of the federal and state drinking water standards. So homes and businesses should let the water run for at least 5 minutes before using. There may be some properties from Johns Pass to Tierra Verde that are not adequately receiving drinking water, and this is due to damage on the customer's private side of the water service line. And so we will be working with those customers as they hired licensed plumbers to make the repairs on their private property during this phase of the recovery. The city of St. Petersburg has also announced that their boil water notice has been lifted for the city and all of their customers, except for those in the city of Gulfport. When it comes to power, Duke obviously has continued to make a lot of progress over the past several days. As of 9:30 this morning, Pinellas County had around 94,000 customers without power, and that is down from 216,000 last night. So you can see a tremendous improvement there. Duke is still expecting to have power restored for a majority of the customers by midnight tomorrow, Tuesday. I'm going to move on to the subject of traffic. Obviously, our crews continue to work. There still are several dozen traffic signals that are out throughout the county. Majority of them are on generator power, so they are functional, but they are still undergoing repairs. So Public Works and Duke Energy are continuing to collaborate on those repairs to try to make sure those get completed as soon as possible. Speaking of disaster recovery center and shelters, our USAR, or Urban Search and Rescue teams, are concluding their missions following Hurricane Milton. As more residents and many from inland communities suffered flood damages, we're still looking at around 200 individuals in shelters here in Pinellas County. The school board is expecting to make a decision this afternoon about whether the schools will reopen tomorrow. We continue to work with cities and other state and federal partners to open more points of distribution. This is where people can go get water, food, tarps, and other resources, as well as have access to cooling stations and comfort stations. We are going to be updating our website, disaster.pinellas.gov, with the latest information on those pods as those come online. And then lastly, I want to touch a little bit on storm debris. I know that continues to be a question that a lot of our communities in the county are receiving. So I want to reassure everybody that this is a top priority for Pinellas County government and the cities that we have here in our community. As a reminder, each of the cities has its own storm debris management plan. So for the county part, which includes the unincorporated areas of Pinellas County, I will share with you that we have now completed most of the debris clearing from the road. So following Hurricane Milton, the priority obviously was on making sure the roads were passable. So most of that work is now complete. And as the crews finish that work, obviously they're transitioning back into the residential storm debris collections. And so over this past weekend, they did approximately 1,400 cubic yards of residential storm debris collection. I do want to note for everybody that this is a major operation. This is not something that's going to be solved in a week or two. We're looking at months of residential storm debris collections. And to give you a little bit of perspective, just for unincorporated Pinellas, just for residential in those areas, it's about 1 million cubic yards of residential debris following the storm. So this is a massive operation. There are a lot of meetings that are happening that will continue to happen throughout the day, throughout the weeks, as we bring on more crews, as we continue to reprioritize work out of Public Works and trucks and teams to go out and continue collecting the debris. We understand if residents do not want to wait. Those who are in unincorporated Pinellas have 2 sites where they can take their storm debris, and there's full guidance on how to prepare that debris, how to keep different types of debris separate on disaster.pinellas.gov. Those two sites we have published, but just to remind everybody, are on Icod Boulevard and at the corner of East Lake Road and Keystone Road. And again, I know we're getting some questions from our media partners. Do we have all of the timelines? What are the cities doing? We don't have all of that information yet. As I said, there's a lot of coordination and collaboration that's happening, especially today, but certainly all of the remainder of the week, so that we all understand what the different municipalities are doing. We can share that information on our website for residents to have an easy access point to all of those details. And then for residents in unincorporated county, as zones come online, we will be announcing those so residents know what to expect. And then we will continue sending out our field outreach teams to the different areas in unincorporated to make sure that residents have the guidance. We're doing flyers with information on how to separate the debris. We're going out and talking to people, knocking on doors, making sure they know that this is a priority for the county, that we're doing everything in our power to expedite this as much as possible, but also to manage the expectation that these are two unprecedented storms when it comes to the damage that they brought on to our community. And it will take time to get all of this debris cleared. But we remain committed to doing that. And as soon as we have more specific guidance and updates, we will make sure to share those with all of you, our media partners, so you can let your respective audiences know. That is it for right now. I'm going to turn it over to Kelsey, who's going to moderate for the questions. If you have a question, you can go ahead and raise your hand, and we will make sure that you can go ahead and ask it. Okay. All right. I am seeing a couple here. Josh, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and ask your question. Josh, we can't hear you. Go ahead and unmute yourself. All right. I'm sorry, Josh. We can follow up with you. Let's go ahead and let's have Mark unmute yourself and go ahead and ask your question, Mark.
Yeah, can you give any updates on the impacts and rebuilding process of the Lake Seminole Dam?
For the Lake Seminole Dam, I'm going to have to follow up with you on that. I am waiting on the latest from our Public Works team, so as soon as I have it, I'll be happy to share it, Mark.
Do you and also do you have any updates on storm-related deaths?
So the report that I have is there were 2 out of St. Petersburg. The lead on that is the City of St. Pete Police Department. I don't have any additional updates.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. And Josh, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you. Let's try that one more time. And I don't believe it's working, so we can certainly follow up afterwards. I want to thank everybody for your continued support and continuing to cover this important rescue operation. If you have any questions, you have our contact information. You can also email oncallpio@pinellas.gov for the latest. Thank you very much.